His first novel was rejected 30 times. He threw it in the trash. His wife saved it. Welcome to Story Studio 91. Stephen King sat at a small desk in the laundry room of his trailer home. The year was 1973. He was 26 years old. He was a high school English teacher making the $1,000 a year. His wife Tabitha worked at Dunkin' Donuts. They had 2 young children. They lived in a double-wide trailer with paper-thin walls. The phone company had disconnected their service because they could not pay the bill. Stephen was writing a story about a girl with telekinetic powers, but he hated it. The story felt wrong. After a few pages, he crumpled them up and threw them in the trash. He thought it was garbage. He had no idea he had just thrown away his future. Stephen was born in 1947 in Portland, Maine. His father abandoned the family when Stephen was 2 years old. His mother raised him and his brother alone. She worked multiple jobs just to keep food on the table. They were poor. They moved constantly. Stephen grew up feeling like an outsider. He was shy, awkward. He retreated into books and stories. Writing became his escape from a difficult reality. Stephen started writing when he was 7 years old. He copied stories from comic books. Then he started creating his own. By high school, he was writing constantly. Stories, novellas, anything he could imagine. His teachers encouraged him, but nobody thought writing could be a real career. After high school, Stephen went to the University of Maine. He studied English. He kept writing. He submitted stories to magazines. Rejection after rejection came back, but occasionally a story would sell for $35, sometimes $50. It was barely anything, but it proved he could write. After college, Stephen got married to Tabitha. He needed a job to support his family. He became a high school English teacher in a small town in Maine. He taught during the day. He wrote at night. He set up a small desk in the laundry room of their trailer because there was no other space. The air was humid from the washing machine. The smell of detergent filled the room. But Stephen wrote there every night after his kids went to bed. He wrote short stories and sold them to magazines. The money helped. $20 here, $50 there. But Stephen wanted to write a novel, something bigger. He had tried before. He had written 3 novels. He sent them to publishers. All 3 were rejected. Nobody wanted them. Stephen kept every rejection letter. He put them on a nail on his wall. The nail bent under the weight of rejections. Then Stephen started writing about a teenage girl named Carrie White. She was bullied at school, abused at home, but she had a secret power. Telekinesis. She could move things with her mind. Stephen wrote from the perspective of a teenage girl, but he was a man in his 20s. It felt strange, uncomfortable. He did not know if he could get the voice right. After a few pages, he gave up. He threw the pages in the trash and went to bed. The next day, Tabitha was cleaning the laundry room. She saw the crumpled pages in the trash. She pulled them out and read them. She was stunned. The writing was powerful. The character was real. Tabitha found Stephen and told him he had to finish this story. Stephen was doubtful, but Tabitha insisted. She believed in it. She believed in him. So Stephen sat back down in that laundry room and kept writing. He finished the novel in a few months. He called it Carrie. Stephen sent the manuscript to a publisher called Doubleday. Then he waited. Weeks passed. Nothing. Stephen assumed it was another rejection. He kept teaching. He kept writing other things. Then one day, he got a call at school. It was his editor at Doubleday. They wanted to publish Carrie. Stephen was thrilled. They offered him an advance of $2,500. It was not life-changing money, but it was something. Stephen signed the deal. A few months later, Stephen was teaching when someone pulled him out of class. There was a phone call. It was his editor again. Doubleday had just sold the paperback rights to Carrie for $400,000. Stephen's share would be $200,000. $200,000. Stephen could barely breathe. He had been living on for $1,000 a year. Now he was getting to $100,000. He went home and told Tabitha. They both cried. Their lives had just changed forever. Carrie was published in 1974. It became a bestseller. Hollywood made it into a movie. The movie was a massive hit. Stephen King became a famous author, but he did not stop. He kept writing. He wrote The Shining, Salem's Lot, The Stand, The Dead Zone, Cujo, Pedesiemata or Y. Misery Dotted, The Green Mile, over 60 novels, hundreds of short stories. Stephen became the most successful horror writer in history. His books have sold over 400 million copies. Many have been turned into movies and TV shows. Stephen King became a cultural icon, but none of it would have happened if Tabitha had not pulled those pages out of the trash. Stephen had given up on Carrie. He thought it was garbage, but his wife saw something he could not see. She believed in him when he stopped believing in himself. That moment saved his career. That moment changed everything. Stephen once said something powerful about rejection. By the time I was 14, the nail in my wall would no longer support the weight of the rejection slips impaled upon it. I replaced the nail with a spike and kept on writing. That is persistence. That is faith. Stephen collected rejections, dozens, hundreds, but he kept writing. He kept submitting. He refused to quit. Stephen also said something about his early poverty that shaped him. We were so poor that my wife and I had to pull our change to buy a pack of cigarettes. That struggle made him appreciate success. That struggle made him work harder. That struggle taught him that nothing was guaranteed. You have to fight for your dreams. Your masterpiece might be in the trash right now. Your breakthrough might be something you gave up on. Stephen threw away Carrie, the book that launched his career, the book that made him millions. He thought it was worthless. Sometimes you cannot see your own brilliance. That is why you need people who believe in you. Listen to them. Trust them. Rejection is not final. Stephen was rejected 30 times for Carrie. Publishers said nobody wanted a book about a girl with telekinetic powers. They were all wrong. Every single one of them. Your rejections do not define your worth. They just mean you have not found the right person yet. Keep going. Keep creating. Keep submitting. If this story inspired you, please like the video and subscribe to Story Studio 91. Share this with someone whose work has been rejected. Remind them that the greatest horror writer in history threw his first novel in the trash, and his wife pulled it out. Maybe someone needs to pull your dream out of the trash too.